Did we do it? Are we live?
Hey, what are we doing, Joe?
We are here today to break into one of the games from this awesome book that I've had for a long time sitting on my shelf. Today, we are looking at Event Planning in Zero G, which is a game about creating an event for a bunch of aliens. And we, as party planners and specialists in that role, are going to detail how we're going to make sure that the big universal party is a success. And it's got a whole set of rules on it, so you can play this game with as few as 2 players or as many as 8. The playing time is listed as 2 to 4 hours, though I
do not see it taking that long.
don't see it taking that long
I
at
mean,
all.
maybe if we had all 8 players and every player had a specific role, it would take a long time.
Yeah.
It's 8 hours?
2 to 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah. 2 to 8 players, 2 to 4 hours. I don't know how 2 players could have 2 hours worth of. Yeah, that seems like a lot, even if we were to, and we are going to be going off the script a little bit, but largely following the rules. Even if we were to go on script, I feel like that's a lot of time. Complexity is 1 star. We need a D6. Got that here.
Oh.
Genre is science fiction. Tone is funny. Format is GM-less. So for those familiar with the term game master, GM-less means it doesn't have a game master, which I think is probably jarring for a lot of people. I know it was jarring for me that you can run RPGs without a game master.
We don't need y'all. Just kidding.
Yeah. No, I like taking a break from being game master and having an RPG experience, while not necessarily needed to be the one that actually runs it. The content is whimsical, farcical, weird alien stuff. So, getting into the actual prompts. Why don't you read the prompt? I've been doing too much. You did the prompt.
You are a band of adventurers. Throwback for all you OGs in the chat. Some of the galaxy's best event planners have gathered to plan the celebration for the Gantrofax's final molting. What an honor to be chosen for this. Of course, we have a limited time and even more limited budget. We couldn't actually afford the galaxy's best, though everything is fine. Happy molting. Basically, we're planning an event for a giant alien that will be molting. It's like a big party in celebration for the molting. The rulebook lists some setup for different roles that you can do. You can be the food planner, you can be in charge of atmosphere, music, sound, decor, guest list, entertainment, gravity. Ooh.
Oh, I didn't read that far to that one.
Yeah, there's
that
a gravity.
Like fun.
Gravity is a sensitive topic. Everyone wants it perfect, but nobody wants to talk about it. You know what feels just right to all the guests.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that because, like,
you're in charge of the perfect gravity.
Yeah, well, aliens are going to be coming from planets of different sizes that have different levels of gravity on them. So, an alien that comes from a really light planet suddenly experiencing a high amount of gravity is just going to be sluggishly trying to walk around on the ship. I say set it to 0G, event planning at 0G. Just let everybody figure it out.
So people that are like really dense and big, they're just gonna have like big masses. Like...
Yeah. They're gonna be the clumsiest in the 0G space, I would imagine.
Definitely. Yeah. The role that I have chosen for myself is for food. A delicacy. Adele, ladies and gentlemen, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. A delicacy to no one species is an insult to another. I don't know if I can read. I've been had a little food, drink. A delicacy to one species is an insult to another. And you are the master of finding just the right dish for every species for every occasion. Yum. Sir Jeffrey shall be playing the role of...
I hadn't actually decided on it yet, but I was gravitated towards the gravity one. But I don't know. I feel like I've already given my answer for that, as I'm just going to put everybody in 0G and let them figure it out. So instead, I think atmosphere sounds fun. I'm going to do atmosphere. Some aliens breathe different gases and some don't breathe at all. All of the guests need to survive the party, and we've got the skills to make that happen with Keller changing fog even. The gas that they breathe is almost something to be consumed in the same way that the food and I assume beverage is. Yeah, they don't have beverage as a separate thing. So you are going to be in charge of food and drink, and I'm going to make sure that nobody passes out from the types of gases that we have in the atmosphere, and that they're perhaps consuming some fun atmosphere if there's psychedelic gases that we could introduce to the party. Like maybe that's more kosher on other planets where they go to different environments, breathe in different gases, and have psychedelic experience. That's all world building that I'm already jumping into. Yeah, so we picked 2 specialist trolls, which brings us to the next phase of the game, which is where we introduce new species of aliens, add details to the established universe, or remove elements from the game that make us uncomfortable.
So we decided that we are going to take turns kind of doing the world building, so deciding like what the big alien is and is like, what some of the attendees are like, and kind of what the environment is like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have a name for this being, right?
It's Gantrofax's final molting.
Gantrofaxes.
Gantrofax is having his their final molting.
Ooh, a non-binary. Let's go, Gantrofax.
They're an alien. They don't conform to our definitions of gender.
As they should.
It may be more appropriate even to give them Zay-Zir pronouns or something like that.
It feels right.
Yeah. So Zay are having a final molting.
Yes. I picture this being like a big caterpillar kind of Jabba the Hutt-esque.
Yes, Jabba the Hutt. That was exactly what I was thinking of.
But like even bigger than that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like minimum, if you're picturing like a Jabba the Hutt kind of figure, where I'm looking like 30 feet long, as the kind of like tail spreads out towards the end, maybe 15 feet tall.
Maybe part of it has like a snail shell. I don't know why I need him to have something that's crunchy.
Oh. I mean, he's molting. Zay are molting.
So what's molting, right? Because a slug doesn't molt. So I think it needs to have some sort of
reptilian,
right, or like carapace, like crustacean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Think of like a super fat lobster.
Right. I was thinking molting was more specific to reptiles, but now that I'm thinking about it, shedding is what I'm thinking of. I mean, it's very similar. I assume it's evolutionarily very similar. But molting is more specific to crustaceans. Yeah. So
I mean, it could even be like a humanoid whose skin flakes off. Like it's up to what we choose.
Mm-hmm. I like the giant lobster kind of idea. Like adapting, just like a
big, still like Jabba the Hutt in the way that it's like laying down on like a thing.
Can we give it like mantis shrimp kind of coloring?
Ooh. Yeah. That's why he's super important, because he's got like all the stuff. Yeah.
And so one of the things that I love about mantis shrimp is that they have the eyes that can see in just like a zillion different. It's not dimensions. It's when you talk about the colors that they can see in different wavelengths. That's right. So they can see like infrared and I think probably ultraviolet and all that stuff.
That would help this creatures being like the lead of several different planets, because they're able to perceive different aliens and how they exhibit to the world.
So one of our aliens definitely has to like exist solely on the infrared spectrum.
Ultraviolet light.
Yeah.
You got to carry around like a black light to see the species if you don't.
Exactly.
Tim? Is that you? Okay, so what are some different species? So we said a species that only exists in
ultraviolet or infrared, or we can make it both. Yeah.
But like imperceivable to a human's eye.
Right. Yeah.
And the other species, except for Zipzorp. What's his name? I can't.
Gantrofax.
Gantrofax.
Yeah.
What's Zir name? I apologize. So I think that they're going to be on Gantrofax's own planet. There's like regular shrimp, like very similar looking, but like less vibrant and don't have quite all the abilities of a mantis shrimp.
Or it could just be that, what if Gantrofax is just like a very ancient version of that species? And thus he's molted so many... They have zolted... They have zolted... They have molted so many times.
They have molted so many times that they're like way older.
Yeah.
What if every time...
like lobster principles is that lobsters are basically immortal, but they eventually reach a point where their carapaces grow too large and they're not able to adequately shed it, and they die because of a lack of being able to...
What if you kind of start as like a, like uncooked shrimp in the way that it's like a gray color? Yeah. Then every time you molt, you start to slowly get more and more color, so the elders are a lot more colorful.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
You get a little bit bigger, a little more colorful.
Yep. Okay.
You can be like, Sonny, do you even have your infrared sight yet?
Okay. So then it does also say that this is Gantrofax's final molting, which kind of makes me think that like maybe this species does...
something happens at the event.
Yeah. Maybe it could be... What if Gantrofax is the first of his air species that understands, or that has reached the point that they reach this final molting, right? Like they have grown to a critical mass such that they're either going to die or...
It reminds me of like if whales get beached, the biggest threat to their life is that their mass outside of water is so heavy that it starts to crush all of their bones and internal organs because it's like so heavy.
I didn't know that.
If they're not in water, there's no displacement of everything, and so they just like start slowly crushing themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Gantrofax Z is getting to the point like they've done research and they know that once one of these mantis shrimp species get to a certain size and weight, they can no longer sustain their organs because they're so big.
I kind of want there to be something special that happens on like a not explicitly supernatural kind of route, but something similar that like they begin to exist in different color spectrums or something, and move beyond the need for their physical body. Maybe like they've reached such a stage that it's like almost a metaphysical transformation for them.
We have mini shrimp.
Okay.
Like the gray shrimp that...
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then the ultraviolet beings.
Yeah. So Gantrofax's species. We have the ultraviolet, and then let's do maybe 2 more species. Do we need to flesh out the ultraviolet species any further?
No, I'd say they're almost just like a shimmering sheet of light.
When you can perceive them, they are a shimmering sheet of light?
Or at least that's all we know of, because Gantrofax hasn't... They are the only one that knows what they truly look like if you have the sight. If you have a black light, you just see shimmering light.
Okay. So there's like another component to their bodies that exists in some space that is difficult to understand for those that can't see the wavelengths of light like Gantrofax can.
Yep.
That's cool.
Okay. I need a tall... We have the smalls. I need a tall, skinny thing.
Okay.
What if it's like a walking stick? We're talking about bugs!
That's a stick bug. They don't call that a walking stick.
What's in this cup? What's it called? Stick bug.
Stick bug, yeah.
So they're like this usually, but then whoop,
oh yeah, okay.
Walking on 2 legs.
I'm on the same page. Now that we know it's a stick bug and not a walking stick.
Handy dandy noodle in case.
A cane, an elderly support.
Stick bug, sorry.
We have something kind of crustacean-like. We have something kind of ethereal, and something kind of bug-like. I kind of want something maybe a bit more like grounded to kind of like help balance out the alienness of everything else. So maybe it's just like humans that entered a time dilation area and evolved like super far past what we currently know them to be. So they fixed all of the problems with the human setup. We have a different hole for eating and drinking than we do for breathing.
What other holes?
We moved our waste systems away from our reproductive systems. Maybe evolved
It's like human 2.0.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Human 2.0. Maybe we even did like some bioengineering of ourselves. So there's like kind of cosmetic additions that some of these human 2.0s have where they exist on a planet that has really harsh conditions. So they've altered their DNA to have like really rough skin, almost like bark-like, or perhaps I think a lot about like silicon-based life forms, right? Like we could have, like almost rocky skin, alter our physiology in that way. So shrimp people, ethereal people, ultraviolet people, stick bug people, and human 2.0s.
Do we want to describe the venue at all?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because we had, I think there was at least one indication we were talking about maybe having this close to Gantrofax's planet, which would kind of make sense with having guests that are the small shrimpy people.
Yeah, and it's Zare's last molting, and so I figured that they're going to kind of be integrated into their own planet. Like, they won't be able to travel off planet after this final molting.
Whether they die or turn into something else, they'll be kind of tied to their planet in one capacity or another.
I don't know why. I don't know how much of Saga you read, but I'm picturing there's a like brothel in Saga.
Okay.
Where it's like you fly in, and it's very like the Jetsons-esque, where it's like on a planet, but it's like pretty open air with some like big glass walls and stuff around the outside, but it's very like open airish, but with a big roof over the top. Like a semi-indoor outdoor venue. You can still get see the views of like off planet out the windows.
Okay.
Like big stage for Xantiphony.
Huh?
What's his name? Zipzort. Gantrofax.
Gantrofax.
Gantrofax is like on a big stage.
Yeah.
With like a chaise lounge.
Yeah, absolutely, because they are not really going anywhere at their size.
Yeah.
Their size.
No. Chaise lounge on wheels. I don't know why I gasped at that. Chaise lounge on wheels.
I mean, this is sci-fi. Let's put it on jetpacks.
Ooh, hovering.
Like a little hover. Yeah.
Hovering chaise lounge. Yeah. Is this like a wandering white glove service catering, or is this like people at tables? Are species intermingling? Are people sitting with their species?
I like the idea that everyone is intermingling, and that brings complications into us being able to adequately serve them all at once. I like the idea that there's a fair amount of relations between these alien species that have forged some partnerships, alliances, governments that relate to each other, and thus the seating chart is fairly chaotic to bring together. All right, this table is this interplanetary council of this. This is the interplanetary knitting club.
It's like the UN.
Yeah.
Model UN.
Yeah. Yeah. Very model UN in that way. Yeah. I also like the idea that there should be some people walking around with like trays, like appetizers, which will set you up for some, what do I do for the appetizer course kind of thing. Do you think that they should go sit down for
the final show?
Well, for the final show, for sure. But what about dinner proper?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody's going to be called to their seats to actually eat for dinner.
And then tables get cleared. Dance floor.
Definitely dancing. Yeah. I want to see an ultraviolet person dance. It's just going to be like a white sheet, just kind of if you can see them on the ultraviolet spectrum.
All right.
Anyway. And then, is there any like other pre-show entertainment? Because obviously, the final molting is the pinnacle of the evening, and then
we gotta have an opener, get the crowd warm. What if the guy that's next, the entity that's next in being promoted to the new role, has to have put on a skill? Maybe people have to fight for it. Like who will become the next
Ooh.
Gantrofax?
Gantrofax can be like a title, almost like
Yeah.
like an emperor kind of title for the most progressed one of their species. What should the contest be?
Fight to the death. I mean, little mantis shrimpies would be a great fight.
I almost
I
forgot.
wanna
We've been
watch.
focusing so much on the color vision and the cool colors that they have on their bodies in general that I completely forgot about the
My brain's like,
punches.
well, what if it's jousting? A little mantis shrimp riding like a crab, the jousting stick. They gonna run at each other, try and break open the other's carapace. Ooh, what is there's like a seahorse Pokemon that's like a seahorse with like a big horn. He's like a jousting seahorse. I'm riding on that for sure.
Were you intending for that to be like they can float through the water, or would it be
I don't know.
you get like a water pit set up so that they can joust
No,
in
I
water?
can like kind of like hover and fly,
So
and they joust with it.
like very much operating on Pokemon physics, where
Yeah,
Horsey can levitate,
totally.
which doesn't make sense because
Yeah.
whatever, it's just a water type Pokemon.
And they're
Okay, all right, cool. I love that we've established that we're operating on some Pokemon physics here. So a joust is going to be one of the warm-up events. Meal, show, dessert, final molting.
Okay. I'm ready to pitch my menu to the council.
Okay.
For appetizers,
Mhm.
I want people, with little hand cloches passing out food, little finger foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it to be stuff that's like really flaky, like what is that Greek spanakopita
Mm-hmm.
and like croissants and like really flaky foods really get you in the mood for a molting, For the main course, some of the sides are going to be like little sea urchin pins that are like stuck through things for the jousting theme. I'm trying to decide if they're going to be cannibals and eat like other seafoody type things.
Well, just because you eat other things in the sea doesn't make you a cannibal. But I get what
but
you're
if it's
saying.
like a lobster tail, like is a
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah.
some nice aged cheddar and wine, perhaps a pasta
Mhm.
with chunks of like instead of like chicken or like a meatball, it's whitefish, which I don't know if you know in real life, like at
Yeah,
like at McDonald's and stuff, whitefish just means whatever we caught that day.
exactly. Is this,
I'll have
this
that
is supposed to be like a fancy
yeah.
event,
No,
right?
I'll change that. Off planet, if you climb to the top of a mountain and you fish in the pond there, you can catch a very nice fatty type of, like the blobfish. There's like really fatty blobfish on the top of this mountain on another planet. They get to climb to the top. You can't fly there because all of the shrapnel floating around the mountain peak, so you can't just fly to the mountain peak. You gotta park at the bottom,
Okay.
hike your ass to the top,
Yeah.
to go fishing for these blobfish.
It's such a big mountain and such a high up mountain that it's got its own gravitational field that has a kind of asteroid field around
wreck
it.
your shit if you try to fly to it. Those are the blobs in the pasta. People come around with like a very rare herb that can be found on another planet, like kind of like truffles or like Parmesan. They're like, would you like some Custa? Shredding it on your pasta for you. We see the show. Well, so does it go jousting and then final molting? So here's my pitch.
Yeah.
I want to pitch that the dessert is off of like the back neck part of Xanathar. Gantrofax. Like part of the reason everyone comes to this event is because like shredding up this carapace, like the really flakiness of it. So the flaky appetizers are going to get you in the mood of like how amazing this flaky carapace is of Gantrofax.
Okay.
And it's like, on the back of his neck where he's gotten sunburn throughout his life. It's like really like the thickest, flakiest kind of part of it.
And it's okay that others of his species are eating this too?
Oh yeah, it's like a great honor to be imbibing in a part of your Gantrofax.
Because then you can like hope that the beautiful colors and the vitality of Gantrofax is passed into you. It's almost got like a cultural, if not spiritual or religious tradition to it. Yeah. Okay. I'm into that.
It transforms into the blood of Christ.
Transubstantiation. Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, this molting only happens once every several decades. So, like, you're lucky if you got to live and be invited to this in a time period in which you get to taste of the Gantrofax. So the dessert is like a flake. So, you know how, like, turtle shells, I don't know if you know this, like, if you could peel, like, a part of the shell off and it's like in layers, like, because it's like built a layer of shell. So there's people at back of house that are like very carefully cutting apart, like, and flaking off a piece of the shell to then like specifically cut up to serve to the people.
If you do a roll that makes it go bad,
You know.
then that affects the narrative of how the molting goes. Will then tie into the dessert as well. Love it.
Those are my meals.
For the atmosphere in the space here, I think that there's going to need to be a lot of moisture in the air. It's going to need to be very damp in here to make sure that
it's getting damp in here.
that Gantrofax's species is able to exist comfortably in this space. And I think that is going to be my delivery device for the other types of gases and bits of atmosphere that I'm going to be adding into the event in its entirety. So I think starting off the night with water vaporizers everywhere, right? We're going to have these practically like little showers of...
I wonder if it can create a very vague outline of the ultraviolet people, so that everyone doesn't need to have their black light.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. If they're going to be like moist on the outside, their water vapor is going to...
So you see like a collection of droplets of water past you.
Yeah. So I think in the beginning, having something that's very floral and aromatic in the beginning is going to be a nice way to just kind of like please the senses and not overload with anything like particularly savory or overpowering to begin with. Doing that while the appetizers are coming out. Moving into the main course, I think then I would put something like let's put some alcohol in the water vaporizers and just get everybody a little bit of a buzz. I'm thinking like a nice red wine, right? Like a nice old aged wine that we put into the vaporizers, because everybody's going to be getting loose and like ready for the events to be coming up, and that's the point at which, like, you know, we're kind of engaging in the almost gluttonous area of the evening where everybody's enjoying their meals. People are kind of like warmed up at this point. Maybe they had some drinks of their own, but then there's alcohol in the air. And that will be a fun one to complicate if my dice roll goes poorly. I think as I move through the evening, I want to put something that evokes a sense of excitement in the air. I'm almost thinking like vaporizing iron to create almost like a metallic, almost like, because at least for the jousting, we're kind of like there for a taste of blood, as it were, right? And I think that iron in the air would create that sense of excitement, and
like primal urge.
Yeah. And we'll put some energy drink in the vaporizers too, just
a monster.
Yeah.
Monster Energy gang.
Just to get everybody excited for the event while we're at it too. And then for the final molting, I think that it'll have to be something really special for that, like stardust or the leftovers of a supernova or something else that is not even necessarily going to be pungent and pleasing in its own right, but just a sense that carries with it a sense of weight and purpose and universal kind of like awareness, like that this is a big moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to sprinkle some gold flakes in there so that the air is kind of glittering around everybody as well. Some gold flakes in there to create a scenery that is pleasing to the visual as well as the atmospheric senses for this momentous occasion.
Love it.
And then finally, I think we'll put, maybe if there's some leftover there's some leftover Gantrofax, can I get a little bit so that I can...
I'm like some like sulfur to be like, all right, ready to leave.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be at the very
Time
end to
go.
get everybody out. But like something to complement the dessert, right? So like you think of dessert and like coffee is kind of what I'm thinking of. Yeah, sweat.
Gantrofaxes, humidified. Put some Gantrofax sweat in a humidifier. I mean, you know, smell really changes the way something tastes, and if you want to really be tasting Gantrofax,
I want to experience Gantrofax in all of my senses.
See, hear. Yes, he makes very loud. All the time he's
Jesus Christ!
It's like it's a 2-hour long event.
Oh my goodness! Just as a moment of meta, I'm beginning to see why they say that this could go 2 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
is because if you come at this with very verbose people who want to add an extreme amount of detail. So when he molts,
he says,
All right, so I think that covers my atmosphere. And then, of course, I like the idea that let's throw sulfur in at the end. It's
like, yeah.
It's probably not, I'll put just like a little bit in there to just kind of like sprinkle like a, and let the musicians know too that they should play the, you're done with your time at the, what is it, the Oscars? Music to get everybody out.
So do we want to do a roll for each like appetizer area, like part of the night, dinner part of the night, or just like one roll? I have a pitch.
What's your pitch?
1 to 6, crit success, crit fails.
Yeah.
Roll for appetizer.
I'm gonna have a slightly different set of rolls, I imagine, if I followed the same, because I set my atmosphere for both the events plus the occasions of the food.
Yeah.
Hey!
6, baby.
All right.
We have the flakiest spanakopita, the flakiest croissant, the flakiest little tendrils. Get little flakes all over you when you eat them. Get right in the mood for a nice molting.
I guess we could just use this roll to narrate
outcome.
Both the resources that you have available as well as how that affects and how that affects the outcome. Is there anything else about how the individual guests experience that appetizer that you would want to narrate and give some additional context to?
No.
Roll for atmosphere. This is going to be appetizers and meal. 5.
Nice.
Okay, so pretty close. I got a so that's plan B, which means that I can do most of my pitch, but it has to be a little bit simpler or less expensive. For the appetizer, I had said something nice and floral in the vaporizers for the shrimp people. I think with that one, to make it a little bit cheaper, maybe they're just like some daffodils or something that they grabbed outside of the venue or something.
Doesn't need to be that cheap. I was gonna say like the difference of when you smell a flower outside versus like a hand soap that claims to be that flower.
That's excellent. Yeah, I love that. Stealing that whole clock. Thank you. The vaporizer for the atmosphere was going to be putting out alcohol, maybe like a nice red wine for the meal time. And I think as a cheaper option, it's going to be like a cheap rosé or something that that just like speaks of not quite the sophistication that maybe we were looking for.
I think you concluded your atmosphere.
Yes.
What was my main? Oh, the blobfish from the mountaintops. Hey.
3 means that this is plan C. You can do a decent version.
A lot of times when you go to a restaurant and you order scallops, they're not actually scallops. They are like hole punches of stingrays.
Really?
Yeah. You can tell if you have real scallops or not. Like if you like cut it with a fork, if the grain goes up and down, it's a real scallop. But if the grain goes side to side, it's not real scallop.
Huh.
The more you know. So you see cheap scallops, it's going to be like a stingray manta ray hole punch instead of an actual scallop. So in that way that like a lot of people don't even realize that there's imitation.
Yeah.
Like we're telling you on the menu it says blobfish.
Yeah.
But like we got some stingray hole punches, you know. Like we got some other fatty fish that taste very similar. We've cut it in a very particular way and prepared it in a way that, like, unless you're really familiar with this blobfish, which is hard to get, but if you're familiar with this blobfish, you know you cut it and you're like, oh, this is fake blobfish. But like it's passable as blobfish to the general palate. I would say the effect of that is that it's pretty like 50-50 in the audience. Some people are like, it's fake blobfish. Some people are like, this is great blobfish. Roll for atmosphere during events.
The events, yeah.
5.
Okay. Simpler or less expensive. All right. So I had iron and energy drink in the vaporizer for the Gantrofax species jousting. Not like a nice cocktail that has like some B12 and some other energizing ingredients into it, but like literally an energy drink, and like a nice energy drink, an expensive energy drink, but like literally like one of the more exotic flavors of Monster energy drink. We pour straight in there, and the iron, I'm gonna say it's like maybe just a little bit cut with some other heavy metals that would mix in there. And as a result, augmented human 2.0s that have given themselves like kind of more metallic skin are going to get a little bit of rust on their exterior. So during the Gantrofax molding, I had said that there was going to be some like star stuff or the remnants of a supernova mixed into the water vaporizer.
Supernova!
Mixed in with like some little gold flakes or something to create an atmosphere of a cosmic importance, right? We couldn't quite get a supernova remnant or some star stuff. That does seem a bit exotic.
Glitter.
Like this is a 5, so like a little bit more upscale than that. What if it's just like one of the neighboring planets got destroyed by some intergalactic war or something?
Bro, my brain went to the same place. I was like, what if it's ground up planet that they destroyed?
Yeah. Or maybe it was like some remnants of a planet that was at war with this interplanetary union. The core of that planet.
The tears of our enemies.
Exactly. Yeah. Some remnants of the core of that planet were ground up, which they have a lot of on hand because it's a planet, so they can get plenty of it. Yeah, but not quite as exotic as star stuff or the remnants of a supernova. The gold flakes, I think we can keep the gold flakes.
Roll for dessert.
Roll for dessert.
My dessert was flakes of
Gantrofax.
Flakes of Gantrofax was my dessert, and served with some like nice chocolate sauce. Maybe like some sort of fancy reduction. I don't know how to cook.
And just for context, I don't think my role really affected the molting in any serious way. I mean, maybe if you want to, you can have it affect the flavor of the malt, but it was a pretty minor.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a bad roll. If it was a bad roll, I would have. 4.
Which means plan B.
I mean, I think plan A was to get like some nice cuts, like beautifully chiseled out. I think that, you know, those cuts are like not as perfectly beautifully chiseled. Like maybe plan A, they were like chiseled in his image, so you got like little pieces of Gantrofax, like looks like him cut out on a scale that you get to eat. But now you just kind of get like a square or a triangle because the team wasn't really able to like flake off the pieces perfectly, so they had to kind of cut it differently. It's not quite as fancy as a presentation, but everybody does still get to eat some Gantrofax.
Gotta get your Gantrofax.
Yeah. It's the whole point of being here.
Yeah.
Long may they reign.
It's their final.
Right.
It's their final.
For,
so
they're already gone because we are eating them now.
Yeah. Then this is my final roll for
dessert and leave time.
And leaving.
Bad roll, bad roll, bad roll.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed
like
that
fun. We were rolling
that we
good.
didn't get something disastrous yet, because the party's actually going really well.
The party's going great.
I suppose with more players, there's a higher chance that you have bad rolls and have a greater number of failures, but
I think the failures could... Oh, bad roll, too!
It's pretty bad! Yeah. That's in the Plan C, even simpler and less expensive. Was it like coffee in the vaporizer for the dessert? I, as the atmosphere coordinator, am going to be struggling back there, like rapidly trying to French press some some coffee at the last
Does
minute.
anybody have a Keurig?
Yeah, and then the sulfur at the end there. I think with the 2 roll, I think there's going to be a little bit of an impure mixture and a bit of an allergic reaction from some of the. I think the stick bugs would probably be pretty susceptible to sulfur. The stick bug people would be susceptible to the sulfur.
What happens?
On a 1 or 2, we have a death.
Yeah.
At the party.
Let's go.
3, 4, 5, or 6, they live, but
I was like, they shit themselves. We were like, they're dead.
Okay, 6. Okay, yeah. So they just shit themselves. They're okay.
They just shit themselves.
They just shit themselves. And besides shitting themselves on the way out, the party concludes with a pretty large success.
Yeah, I'd say they're probably like mad about it, but also they just got to eat blobfish and Gantrofax flakes, which is like every 50 to 100 years of opportunity. Yeah. And so they're like, we want to be invited back. We want our offspring to be invited back. We don't want to get off of the invite list.
And I think interplanetary relations between these 4 species remain pretty strong, despite a couple of small hiccups in the event planning.
So, like, even though some of them shit themselves, they're like, I'm mad about it, but like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna tell people,
right?
You're just gonna like quietly be like, oh god, and leave.
Yeah.
And
even more reason for them to get out.
Count your blessings.
That gets us to the end, right?
Yeah.
That's a wrap, folks. Enjoy that after party glow, unless you're in jail. We didn't get
no fights
yet.
Yeah. Unless somebody wants to like self-commit for shitting themselves. It went pretty well.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I mean, a little bit of stick bug shit, but otherwise great.
I really enjoyed just how much world building we did.
Yeah.
In that
I almost feel like we need to like revisit the world for something else.
Yeah. Have that be the foundation of another adventure.
Yeah. You can add it to a planet in our
Spelljammer campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
We stream Marvel Rivals. We stream Marvel Rivals sometimes.
And we want to do more of this.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this, and
or even like a one-on. At some point, we gotta do just like a one-on-one DM player D&D.
Yes, follow and
Zeep Zorp Bebop
VXV
VXV
for more.